Hello, it's Charles Cherney, and today's question in the Ask Charles Cherney series is, what are the squares of Cambridge, Massachusetts? Well, as it happens, there are 5 squares in Cambridge, and they are Porter Square, Harvard Square, Central Square, Inman Square, and Kendall Square. And what's interesting about the squares of Cambridge is they're not squares. They're essentially intersections. And as such, exactly where a square begins and ends is not entirely clear. You can think of Harvard Square as that area that begins at the primary intersection where Brattle Street meets JFK and extends outward around it, and it's made up of the shops, restaurants, services, etc. in that general area. So only in Cambridge can you have squares that are not square that don't exactly have clear boundaries. What can we say about the squares other than that? Well, they all have, with the exception of Inman Square, a Red Line T station. The Red Line is the subway line in Cambridge, and all of the squares except Inman Square have a Red Line T station stop. Harvard Square is the most famous of the squares. That's where my office is located. That's where Harvard University is located. And it's the square that gives Cambridge its identity in the minds of visitors for the restaurant, shop services, and the university. Porter Square is one station beyond Harvard Square, further out, and it's a transportation nexus with, in addition to a Red Line T station, a commuter rail line stop. And there's also the Porter Square Mall found in Porter Square, a primary shopping destination for Star Market and Porter Square Books and other shops that define the Porter Square Mall. Central Square, one station stop in the opposite direction from Harvard Square, closer to Boston, is where you find Cambridge City Hall, and it's in the center of the city, hence the name Central Square. It's a square that's been gentrified over the last 20 plus years. Inman Square is where I live, just outside of, and it is, as I said earlier, the square without a Red Line T station, but you're not that far from Inman Square to the Red Line stop in Central Square. And Inman Square is filled with shops, restaurants, services, and has a strong, unique identity. Last but not least is Kendall Square, known for its high-tech and biotech offices, and MIT has a strong presence here. And it really is the square in Cambridge that feels more like you're in a big city with the taller buildings and the Monday to Friday vibe in Kendall Square with people coming in to work. So those are the squares of Cambridge. Below, I have a link to a playlist for a series of 5 videos I've made on things I like about each square. So check that out. My name is Charles Cherney. This is the Ask Charles Cherney series. Be sure to watch the other videos in this series and reach out at any time for assistance with better understanding Cambridge and neighboring Somerville.